actually do. I have IBS. For those who don't know, the medical community stands for irritable bowel syndrome. My life stands for I'll be shitty. My bowel isn't merely irritable, it's downright vindictive. When I go to the doctor to discuss my health, it's not my BMI doesn't refer to my body mass index, it's my bowel movement index. They bring out the Bristol stool chart to assess how I'm doing, which coincidentally works for my mental health. You see this smattering of feces right here is actually the heightened connection between your amygdala and your medial prefrontal cortex. Yeah, guys, if you're not going to laugh, you're going to fucking learn. Yeah, they don't need the HAM-D to assess my depression, or rather the D stands for diarrhea. Although diarrhea really isn't a joking matter. I mean, people used to lose their life to diarrhea. Why do you think the first part of the word starts with die? I remember talking to my grandpa one time. Everything changed when Ma got diarrhea. She used to drop by gas station bathrooms and think nothing of it. I don't know why he's Southern in that joke. It just seemed right. It should be, everything changed when Ma got diarrhea. You betcha. You betcha. I'm going to do these jokes out of order. But I don't know, like, I don't think you ever shit at a Walmart bathroom on purpose. It's got to be always an emergency. Unless you're at work, like, not working while at work. Because, like, even when it's clean, it's dirty. Like, when the janitor cleans it, they've got to use the soap dispenser. They don't give them actual supplies. I was there the other day, and it was really poetic. It was some 80s song playing, like, get out of my dreams, get into my car. And there was just a Campbell soup pile of vomit in the urinal. Couldn't have been better. And that was mine. That was my vomit. I think it'd be funny if they have the sexiest man alive contest. I don't know where they source this, but if the sexiest man alive was killed by the second sexiest man alive, like, how would that work out? Like, if Brad Pitt was killed by the sexiest, I don't know, Paul Rudd or something like that. Like, he's a convicted cold-blood killer, but now that the first sexiest man is dead, now by default, Paul Rudd would be the sexiest man alive. Like, and he's honest. Like, he would during the trial said, like, do you acknowledge Brad Pitt was the sexiest man alive? He's like, yes, Your Honor, I understand that, but technically now I am the sexiest man alive, being that Brad Pitt is now dead. And then he enters like a weird plea deal on the condition that he's now legally, not just People magazine, but legally the sexiest man alive. And then he enters in some like weird witness protection program to assure that even though he has to serve a life sentence, he's the sexiest man alive. My goal for therapy isn't to get better. It's to get my therapist, after exhausting the latest techniques and advanced medical knowledge, to just say, it is what it is. And because I studied all the science behind this. I mean, I've gone to school for this, and like a lot of the stuff that they're saying, it seems like you're just making shit up, dude. Like, which is what I was already doing, and I didn't have a copay. So what's going on now is it's hard for me to take it seriously, because they're just saying you need to exercise, you need to eat right, you need to be around other people, have good, meaningful relationships, have a purpose. So be a fucking human being. Like, okay, cool, dude, thanks, I appreciate that. Like, you're saying like modernity is bad. Like everything we've done since like sliced bread, penicillin, and pizza, it should just been fucked up. Like, okay. So now I've convinced my therapist to just get high with me for 45 minutes and convinced him to buy the weed. What if Abe Lincoln wasn't honest? He was just autistic. Like, there was a line where he literally straight up said, he's talked about this progressive guy, but he's literally said, if I could win the war without freeing the slaves, I'd fucking do it. Like, that's how cold he was. He was just like, okay, whatever, I'll free the slaves, I guess, He could have just had his cake and eat it too. Everyone would have thought he's a hero and loved him for the rest of eternity. But no, he just wrote the Emancipation Proclamation and said, hey, I don't love my wife. So I hate when people ask how we doing. Because I don't know. I don't have the information or authority to make that determination. Like, you haven't told me how you're doing. I haven't told you how I'm doing. we need to talk about that and then create the average between the two, and then we can determine how we are doing collectively. It's just a basic arithmetic. I think also back to the poop stuff. Diarrhea should be number 3. Why is diarrhea not number 3? Because it's just basic ass arithmetic. You got number 1 is pee liquid, right? And then you've got 2 is poop, that's usually solid, and then you add them together, kind of a semi-solid. It's number 3, it's diarrhea. I'm putting that on there, hashtag diarrhea number 3. For some reason, why do parents, when they tell a story about like something that happened, do they always unnecessarily mention the person's race or sexuality? Like, my dad was telling me a story about work. He's like, oh, there's a supervisor. He was trying to catch a shoplifter. He's gay, by the way. Okay? So I'm waiting for this to like factor into the story, like a character development. No, it's just like, you know, and he's like, oh no, so he caught the shoplifter later. Like, okay, well, Dad, what happened? Like, did he try to suck the shoplifter's dick? Did he try to suck your dick? Is there something you want to tell me? All right, toodaloo.